Jean-Claude Van Damme? What?
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal.
What's up? Once again, we are in a situation where more and more of our, let's just say, our heroes growing up and whatnot are getting in more trouble. Now we got Jean-Claude Van Damme getting caught up in this whole thing. We're talking about action star, martial arts extraordinaire, let's just say, okay? Muscles from Brussels, hard target, Universal Soldier, Double Impact, Bloodsport, all of those movies, okay? Classic martial art movies. If you're a kid that grew up in the 90s, in late 80s, you definitely know about Jean-Claude Van Damme if you were a fan of the martial arts and the action genre, okay? And let me just be real. This is very, very shocking to me. And I think this is going to be very shocking to a lot of people. As you can see down here, there's a lot of people that are surprised about this, and they're sharing it. They're reacting to this because, again, a lot of people grew up with Jean-Claude Van Damme. Now, we already know that he's had his fair share of run-ins with police and arrests and etc. His substance abuse, issues and all that stuff. We already know about all that stuff. But now we're hearing something new. That he's facing STing charges from Romania, of all places. Exactly, that's the same area that Andrew Tate is getting, finding his problems at as well, which is interesting. But anyway, he's allegedly accepted, S, for lack of a better term, with 5 different women as a quote-unquote gift. We got to get into this, okay? Because, again, this is very shocking. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Like I said, Van Damme. Okay? So let's look at this. Okay. Jean-Claude is reportedly facing charges of having relations with women who have been moved around, if you get what I'm saying, in Romania. Allegedly accepting relations with several women as a gift. So somebody's like, "Hey, Jean-Claude, how you doing, buddy? I got this girl. Her name is Sarah. She's in your room right now. We just want to gift her to you. It's a little bit of a thank you for your amazing work on the screen. Maybe we can work out a deal. Maybe we could work something out where you can promote our brand or something like that." Maybe that's what it is, but this is very, very interesting. Like, hey, love that we made this deal happen, Mr. Van Damme. There's a girl in your room right now that would love to give you a massage, if you get what I'm saying. Something like that, right? I feel like you see stuff like this in movies, but this kind of scenario in movies, but I'm surprised. In fact, if you've been watching the TV show Reacher on Amazon Prime, this is exactly what happens near the end of season 3, literally the most recent season. I'm just saying, they're like, "Hey, we got a girl for you in this bedroom. After we make this deal, she's there as a gift for you." You know what I mean? So this is very, very interesting. Like I said, feel like you see these in movies, but never knew. I mean, I'm sure it happens in real life, but you know what I'm saying. But moving on. According to CNN, their affiliate, Antenna 3, the Romanian Directorate for Investigating Organized Crime and Terrorism, all right, the DIICOT, has filed a criminal complaint against Van Damme, claiming he knowingly had relations with several women who were being moved around, who were being ST'd, okay? So, per the report, the actor allegedly met with several people, also under investigation for relations, for trafficking crimes, who offered to let him have relations with 5 different Romanian models as a quote-unquote gift. So, this is interesting now that you're seeing Andrew Tate down here, but this alleged incident is said to have gone down in Cannes, okay? So the French government reportedly has to authorize criminal proceedings. It's unclear if or when that might happen. Van Damme isn't the only public figure, like I just talked about, Andrew Tate. He's not the only public figure who has been accused of crimes related to STing in Romania. Okay, remember Andrew and Tristan Tate, we just talked about them just a few days ago, were only recently allowed to leave the country after they were arrested on STing charges back in 2022, which was a huge deal. A lot of people lost their minds over that, understandably. Okay, the internet went kablooey. Let's just say that, especially the manosphere section of the world, right? Of the internet. So we last caught up with Jean-Claude in 2016 when he gave a spirited take on Donald Trump's infamous Access Hollywood tape, grab him by the what. Okay. But anyway, this is very interesting what's going on here. Now, him of all people, he's a superstar, still a big name. You know what I mean? He was up there with the likes of Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone. I mean, he was really making a name for himself as a martial artist, an action star. Literally, he's still making movies, or, at least he was until this situation happened. But nonetheless, this is a very interesting situation that Jean-Claude Van Damme has found himself caught up in. Okay. And I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens from here on out. A lot of things were different back in the day. A lot of things were done under the table or in the bedroom that weren't documented or weren't ever talked about. And it does make you wonder when this whole thing happened. Did this happen at the height of his career? Did this happen later on in the 2000s? You see what I'm saying? Because a lot can be found in the 2000s in comparison to like the 90s and the 80s and 90s, right? We got cameras and we got social media, we got photos, we got cell phones that could take photos, etc. So this is a very, very interesting situation. But what say you guys? To me, I'm very shocked about this, him being hit with this. I am. I know he's had his fair share of bouts with his bipolar disorder, to his yayo usage of the yayo. We if you knew about him and followed his career, you knew about all those things back in the day. But now hearing this is a very interesting situation. You also got to remember too, and this is just one other side note I want to throw in. There's a lot of deals that these guys do make overseas. Say China wants to have them, this big international movie star promote a line of clothing or promote a drink, liquor, or a car of some sort. Let's just say that you can get multi-million-dollar deals overseas. And I think that sometimes these guys get hooked up with an extra bonus, with a gift in their bedroom after they make the deal, right? After the deal is done, they go, the person who's trying to hire Jean-Claude Van Damme is most likely going, hey, well, we do want to give you a little extra, sweeten the deal a little bit. All right. Here's a little gift. When you get back into your hotel room, you'll be greeted by Sasha or whatever the hell it is, right? That is very possible. Okay. Instead of it being like, hey, we're going to add another $1 million on top of this as a signing bonus, they might be like, hey, your signing bonus is waiting in your hotel room. You see what I'm saying? So this is very interesting, especially he was an international movie star, international action star. So I'm sure a lot of the deals that he was doing back in the day were a lot of international gigs, a lot of international deals. So I could see this actually happening, but it happening with Jean-Claude Van Damme, I'm surprised, right? I wouldn't be surprised if, there's other names. There's other international movie stars out here as well. So maybe he's not the only one. We will see what happens here very soon. But here it is. What are your thoughts on this? This is very shocking to me, but it is what it is. Jean-Claude Van Damme getting hit just like Andrew Tate, and a little bit like Diddy too. It's insane. A little bit. He's not moving them around, but he's accepting these women as gifts, which is very, very bad to begin with. Anyway, guys, comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Hit that like button down below. Crush that subscribe button. We'll talk here soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.